Well, here's where we're at now. Took it out riding around in the yard some, I don't know, 3 or 4 times, and there is, you see that swing arm? This right here, they call it a swing arm, and there's a bolt, and there's bushings in there, and it's got a lot of play in it. And when you hit a bump, it goes chunk, chunk. So, and you can see there's, the further back you go, the more extreme the wiggle is. Imagine going down the road, that isn't smart. Also, so when that comes off, I gotta take this wheel out, and I'm gonna adjust this rear brake, because I think at one point this was probably put on incorrectly. Probably when the new brake shoes was put in there. It needs to be pulled off and then rotated, so with almost new brake shoes it shouldn't be adjusted that tight, I wouldn't think. So I'm going to adjust that out, I don't know, 3 or 4 splines. Right here. And that'll give it more pull and a more adjusting space, and then I can take that off and see what we need to do. And according to the book of knowledge here, the parts book, number 8 is the swing arm, and it does have a bolt that goes all the way through it, a washer, a bushing, and washer and bushing, and a nut. So either the bolt is worn, or the bushing is, or the inside of the trailing arm, or all of the above. Oh, tie wrap, cable tie. Oh, right here. Yeah, guess I'll have to put one of them on. So anyway, so I'm going to get that torn apart. I put that up on a block of wood. I tried a milk crate and it wouldn't balance. So that 2x material is going to do nice enough, I hope, anyhow. So now I just need to get some wrenches, pull this apart. Let's see what we got. And this is the side of the sprocket, and that seems to be bent a little bit. Not that it probably matters, but when I have it apart, I'm going to try to remember to straighten that back up. So I think that's 10 millimeter. Yep, and I know this is 19 right there. So we're going to pull those off. So I guess pull the brake loose all the way, and this has a nice little groove it slides on. I'll point that out later, but I'm going to go ahead and take this loose, and I got a pencil. I'm going to go ahead and mark this where it's at now, and then I can maybe index it over about there or something. There's a spacer behind there. There's a spacer also in the middle of the hub. So I'm going to put this back in there. Stick my parts over here so I don't lose them. Tire out. Oil. Uh-oh. Brake cable. Alright. Okay, 14 millimeter. And I think our chain guard is bolted to a tab on there as well. Uh-oh, it's not 14 on this side. It's 14 on the other, so 17. I'm gonna just go ahead and tighten it back. See if that does anything, because it was actually loose. Nope. The washer on the other side is concaved, and this was on the outside. Don't know why, but that's how it was. This side is flat. Okay. This doesn't wobble. A little play there, but not much. I wonder if turning that washer over like it should be, or I think it should be, will make a difference, because those bushings aren't loose. I mean, there's some slack, but I'll say this side was like that, but I think, yeah, it was like this, but I think it should be like that. I don't know if that matters, but it sure isn't. And it does have some play in it, doesn't it? But I bet you if we tighten it up, and that is a lock nut, so It wouldn't have to be cranked down all the way, but it still has some play in it, but those bushings aren't bad. So maybe that's just how they're supposed to be. There we go. That's better. Yeah, just needed to tighten it. Didn't have to tear it all the way apart, but I did. We had to re-index this anyhow, so I guess taking it off was not bad. Here. So there's where we're at. I think I needed to go not quite probably a eighth of a turn, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. See how hard that is. Shouldn't be hard. There is my line, and that lined up there. I think I need to go a little further. It's either that or the other, so I guess this will work. tires. What we have. This just stands. And those are, I'm gonna call them good. Oh, now I need to straighten this on the other side. That's all it took. And I don't know if this wheel is true. If it's not, this would be the time to go through and true up this wheel with those spokes. So I'm going to spin it and see. Hold it still. I'd say that's not bad. Good enough for a bicycle. So it's good enough for this. Now it's the time to shove it back on there. Anything I need to do before I do that. And I'll pull my chain through. Here's a lug that has to slide in to hold that brake from spinning, and then the cable, brake cable, this part goes into this right here. And here's where that slides into that lug. So I'll try to get that on there within 3 or 4 tries. That thing's falling apart. put her chain back on. And I probably shouldn't have put this back together, but I was afraid my luck would be I would lose that little keeper, and that's the only one I got. And I didn't have enough slack in my chain, because when I put this new chain on, I didn't cut it long enough to allow for a bigger front sprocket or to slide the chain off. So actually it probably made, oh crud, probably made it easier to get on that way. I hope I didn't go too far with that. And I did. Gosh darn it. I'm going to have to back it off one spline. Can't turn that. Crud. Well, I'm gonna fight with that. Okay, I wound up going one spline, and I was able to take the bolt out and then apply it and then get it to come out, and there's that groove in the center of the shaft right in the center, so that allows it to slide out, and then this side will rotate, this side can be out here. So I think that's probably where it needs to be. Didn't know that. So basically, here we are. We took it apart, and all I needed to do was tighten that. And all I needed to do here was loosen this up, take the bolt out, spread that, rotate it one tooth, and then tighten everything back back up. So, wasted a lot of time to learn something I did not know. Whether it was the hard way to do it, or the easy way to do it, the right way to do it, or the wrong way to do it. Well, it was not the easy way to do it. It wasn't the right way, but it's done. And I went ahead and adjusted this so it's just kind of almost a drag, not quite. So the drum's not gonna drag. So, and tighten these up. I'll just go ahead and snug these other things down so they don't vibrate off down the road. And I don't know, that seems about right for a chain, I suppose. I don't know. And I did think, well, maybe I should have looked in the manual on how to adjust the brakes and such, but it doesn't really say anything. So it didn't say anything. You could pull that off, which, you know, I really felt dumb because it would be like, well, why don't you read the book, dummy? But anyway, so that's that much more done. Well, just because it's 103 in the shade and humidity is about 80%, it's hot in here. I just turned the fan off. I just turned the gas on in here. Just get this thing set up and smoke it. Let the choke off and die. It's ready for the races. I'm going to take my steel wool and kind of clean this chrome up. I went ahead, I don't know if you guys noticed or not. This was bent. It was bent in and down. And I thought, well, I probably should unbolt it and put a wrench on there, but I just decided to try, and you can bend them by hand real easy. So I didn't need to do something else the hard way today. But I am going to try to clean some of these rust pits up, and steel wool does an amazing job. This takes just a little effort, but I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I did the front fender already the other day. Shiny. And I did the muffler a while back, if you folks remember. So now I'll just do that chrome. Handlebars. Maybe clean up around here too. Headlight. Make it look shiny. So, all you do, sit down, get comfortable, and just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You're not going to get everything out, but you sure make a big improvement over it. I'm going to turn the fan on because it's 100 in here. Cool it off, or at least cool myself off. Look at this. It's pretty pitted there. It's getting better. at 150 feet at 14 miles an hour, it's going to look pretty. While polishing, I realized that there was missing a bolt here and right there. Those two bolts. So I dug around, and I found two that will work. They don't match, but I do believe that with the upgrade of a grade 5 bolt, now this wrap will be able to haul a 12 or a full case of beer, not just 12 pack. And so this knob also right here, you push it in, it's got this knob right here. It was screwed in there. And I took it out because this piece of rubber was just sitting there. And it's a grommet to keep water out of your tools, your toolbox. So I'm going to dig around. I found a grommet. Fits over here. And it has a groove in it. And what it's for is to like put a hole in a piece of tin, and then you push this in there and you can run wires through it. It doesn't rub on anything. But that's not what we're doing today. So if I can get this shoved in there, and I don't know that it's actually to keep water out more than to keep it from vibrating and rattling. Okay, I got it. I took the spring loose and got that out. We got the other half of the original grommet out and put that in. It wiggles around, but I think so. Get this in there. And the spring. Hooked up on back here. Put this back on. That doesn't look right. That's the latch. And you just thread it out. So it's got a notch. Goes to the front. And a lock nut to lock it down where you need it. I'm going to take it to the wire brush, clean it up, and then we can, okay, there we go. Nice and clean, the threads move real good. It's 14mm wrench, so nuts. Alright. Thread it back in about where it was. Have that little slot in front. Needs to go deeper. sure that slots frontwards. Okay, well, to end this video in the way we began, let's do things as hard and as irresponsible and as backwards and as unnecessary steps as possible. I started to clean up the wheel, and I realized, you know, it sure would have been smart when I took it off for no reason to have polished it up then, instead of trying to do it on the bike. So, anyway, another adventure. It's a little better. It's looking kind of shiny.